Hello out there. Welcome to Art Conspiracy with Amy. I'm Amy. It's morning here where I am in Thailand. I have my cup of coffee and I am up early to talk to you about ellipses, which are circles in space. Anyway, once you start seeing ellipses and you get to know ellipses, they're everywhere and they are super, super useful. So let's get to the lesson. Yep, this is what I look like in the morning. I did put some lipstick on, but I have some self-respect. So anyway, you're going to be looking at artwork and not me. So let's get to it. Okay, here we go. An ellipse is basically a circle in space. So if you have a circle, okay, got a nice circle. As it turns, it's going to flatten out like a disc, and it's going to get narrower and narrower until maybe, let's say it's a coin. All you'd see is actually the side of it. But that is an ellipse in space. So that's really easy to grasp, I think. So let's say you want to do a glass of water. So whatever the ellipse is at the top, the width versus the height, say, that you want that to be the same at the bottom, the same ellipse, okay? So then you just do the lines. Whoa, look at that. You got a pretty nice glass, whoops, in perspective. And I made the darker line, or the forward line a little darker so that it looks like it's coming forward. Now let's talk about my coffee cup, okay? My coffee cup is not straight like this. It's bigger at the top, but it's the same idea. If you have an ellipse, the bottom's narrower, but it's still got the same scale. It's a smaller version of this one. So you'd never have this and then this, right? That wouldn't make any sense. You'd end up with some kind of wacky cup there, right? So don't do that. So I have this one, then this one, and then I join. And I got a pretty nice coffee mug, easy peasy Louisy. And then if, let's say it had liquid in it and you could see through it, that ellipse of the liquid would be the same ellipse. So this is really, really helpful in so many ways. I'm gonna do my famous wine bottle, which I like to do. So I got ellipses. They're all basically the same width versus height. Okay, get a little darker so you can see. Okay, so then look at that. And then I got, okay, here's the top of my wine bottle. I'm gonna make this Chardonnay. Here, look at that. That is so much fun. Ellipses are your friend. Now this is really fun, watch this. Okay, here's my ellipse. Here's my ellipse. I'm just gonna go part of the way. And look at that, I got my label. So much fun. And then of course you can erase those extra lines. But I got my label and I just use the ellipses to find it. And then say like you want the wine in here, that's another ellipse. Makes it very, very convenient. So that's basically the idea. You know, ellipses are found, let's say you even have a table, but it's a square, and squares are harder to get perspective-wise, so you can put it in as an ellipse and the legs are going to be the same ellipse, right? And then you can find your legs, and then you can change the top and find that configuration. Anyway, starting with the ellipse, but this might be confusing. Don't worry about that. Anyway, anything round, even a bicycle tires. Okay, let me do that real quick. Let's say one bicycle tire is looking right at you, right? And then the other one's this way in space because it's turned and it's parked. So here's your seat and here's your handlebars. And then here's the back, here's the fender. So it's a quick way to understand what's happening with a car, a bicycle, a wheel. So anything round is going to have ellipses. Anything tubular, they come in pretty doggone handy, I can tell you that. Okay, so that is a quick down and dirty lesson on ellipses. And oh, I also wanted to model having your art supplies out. So I'm up first thing in the morning, got my cup of coffee. I'm totally ragged and tired and not quite awake. But I sit down and I listen to the news and I draw. And I don't, it shouldn't be this special thing like, oh, I got to get out the art supplies. Just have a little place where you always have your art supplies handy, and it'll make your practice much easier. So, okay, on with the day. Talk to you soon.